Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Jim Lovell, and General Thomas Stafford. Now, all of these astronauts and their names are synonymous with heroism, bravery, and exploration in the highest degree. However, these astronauts were only able to do their achievements because a path had been clearly laid out before them, and that path had been forged because of our planet's first inhabitants in outer space, animal astronauts. Now, animals have been used throughout the entirety of aviation history as test subjects to go where humans have never been before. In 1783, the Montgolfier brothers were the first to try this with their hot air balloon, where they sent up a duck, a rooster, and a sheep. Right after World War II, America was lucky in that we got our hands on Dr. Wernher von Braun, a former Nazi scientist who had developed the V-2 rocket, and it's because of this that America was able to send the first animals into outer space, a bunch of fruit flies, in 1947. Now, the Soviet Union wasn't that far behind because in 1951 they launched 2 dogs into outer space, a dog named Gypsy and a dog named Dzik. However, the first animal to complete a full orbit of our planet was a dog named Laika, which in November of 1957 would be thrust straight into the space race and be launched aboard Sputnik 2. But sadly, Laika's trip would only be one way because at the time there was no re-entry procedure. For the next 5 months, Laika's capsule would become its coffin. In the arms of the angel. Meanwhile, back in America, we weren't using canines, instead we were using chimpanzees. On January 31st of 1961, Ham the Chimp was launched aboard the Mercury Redstone rocket and returned safely back to Earth. Today, animals aren't being launched into space at the same rate as they used to be. However, animals are still being affected by our launches into space. For example, aboard shuttle mission STS-119, a free-tailed bat was found clinging to the external tank. Sadly, it's believed that Space Bat did not survive the launch. Another animal to get caught up within the space race would be Space Frog, a Floridian toad that got caught up with NASA's recent launch of the Lunar Atmosphere and Dust Environmental Spacecraft. But Space Frog and Space Bat are just 2 recent examples of animals that follow a long line of predecessors who would sacrifice their lives for their human counterparts. These animals gave their lives involuntarily, and their achievements should be honored. Keeping up the tradition of honoring high-flying achievements of astronauts, we here at the Airshow figured we'd honor Space Frog and Space Bat for their high-flying achievements as well. I guess you could say that Space Frog made one giant leap for mankind. Thanks for watching the Air Show. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.